Here's what you need to know. A Chinese billionaire's bad bet on Texas land is now fueling something even more dangerous: a global cryptocurrency scheme built on inflated promises and desperation. With countless victims spanning 3 continents, the potential implications for Texas's last great wilderness cannot be overstated. And it's all happening right now. Let's rewind back to 2016. Sun Guangqin, a Chinese billionaire and former officer in the People's Liberation Army, arrives in Val Verde County, Texas. Through his company, Xinjiang Guanghui, better known by its U.S. subsidiaries, Brazos Highland Properties and GH America, he quietly acquires 130,000 acres of raw scrubland. He paid nearly twice what it was worth. Local ranchers saw it plain as day. Something was off. They overpaid 7 years ago, one said, and everything since has been just schemes, layered attempts to get their money back. But this isn't just about land speculation. This land borders the Devil's River, one of the last pristine watersheds in Texas, and lies a stone's throw from Laughlin Air Force Base, where we train more U.S. military pilots than anywhere else in the country. Under China's 2017 National Intelligence Law, companies like Xinjiang Guanghui must answer to the Chinese Communist Party when called. That's not a conspiracy. That's the law. So, what did they do with all this land? First, they pitched a wind farm called Blue Hills Wind. They promised clean energy, jobs, progress. But the reality? Lawsuits, delays, and grid paperwork stamped inactive. Then they pivoted, announcing a solar farm, Blue Valley Solar, which they ended up selling the rights for to the engineering firm Black & Veatch. Still not built. They said maybe 2028, and now, as of July 15th, they pulled the plug completely. For years, the land sat dormant, no buyers. Because who pays top dollar for raw land with no infrastructure and national security red flags? And yet, every failed venture only deepened the debt and heightened the desperation. Enter Gustavo Solon. Welcome to Westland World, a smart city dream built on the same remote acreage. Now they claim the land is worth $32,000 an acre because it's going to be smart. Let that sink in. That's 64 times what they paid, 80 times what it's actually worth. And to fund this vision, crypto. Digital assets sold as the key to a borderland utopia. 3 separate tokens: WLT1, Westland, Token 1, RDC, Reserva Rio de Contas, and WLSC, Westland Smart City. Each pitched as the financial foundation for this so-called Tomorrowland. So who's buying into this dream? Brazilians, specifically, as well as more broadly, foreign investors thousands of miles away. Folks who can't drive out here and see the truth for themselves. They're being sold an international airport, but what they are actually getting is a 73-year-old single asphalt runway with no commercial service in over 2 years. Del Rio International Airport, to be exact, which is about 4 miles from the US-Mexico border. Now in their marketing, Westland World is advertising a vibrant community. Have a look around. It's the last of Texas's wilderness. So if you count the local fauna as neighbors, then maybe you could make that stretch. And projected returns? All based on land that couldn't sell for 7 years. This isn't development. This is desperation disguised as opportunity, a story dressed up in tech buzzwords to mask economic collapse. But there is so much more to this story than crypto. It's about national security, about who controls our borders, about preserving the last wild places in Texas. Because this is a pattern we've seen before. Overpay, fail, repackage, repeat. The cycle continues until someone steps in. And that someone could be you. If you're a Texas legislator, your pen holds power. If you're a journalist, this story needs sunlight. If you're a community leader, your voice can shift the conversation. And if you care about nature, security, or truth, then understand this is bigger than just a land deal. This is about legacy. The pattern is clear. Don't let Westland World continue the cycle. Share this story, ask questions, demand transparency, protect Texas, protect hopeful investors from getting duped, protect what's sacred before it disappears under empty promises. The time to act is now.